I'm in the mood, so let's go one more time. That didn't come out. No. Anyway, next story quest is All's Vale that Endsvale, and no, that was not on purpose. Level 84, Growingway is our quest giver. We have just quote unquote fixed the teleporters to do something productive, um, but we still don't have access to the like living area, so we'll see. Hopefully we get to see that soon. It'll be kind of cool, I think. I don't know. Here we go. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that, but the one thing we all agreed upon was that the people of Aetheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be set up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the burrow. Follow me. East end of the burrow. Made more sense. East end. Do I take the teleporter down? I think I do. Theoretically, I can take a teleporter back up if I need to. He says, not knowing for sure. That's why my voice got a little higher. Kind of like Stewie asking Brian how he's doing with his novel. Okay, I'm done. For now. I did indeed want to go... Wait. Yes? Yeah. Here's Growingway. Oh, my name's Growingway. Good, you're here. Through this door is greatest Endsvale. It was named as such because it's the veil to end all veils, the most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand that people of Aetheris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. And this might be one of the biggest double doors I've seen so far. Maybe not the entire game, but for certain in here. It's slidey as well. We'll trade out wind up Orchefon for the next random wind up I literally just had you. No, oh damn it, I didn't mean to do that. I traded Grahatia for Orchefon earlier, so Serpent Hatchling is always appreciated. One of my favorites, if not the favorite. This is definitely not for... Oh, there's some trees. Oh, it's like a park. Are these actual trees or are they balloons that look like trees? Is that what's going on here? Explain yourself, Growingway, even though it's not you, technically it's doing it. But yeah, we've got a park and some bad guys again. The scrapers look like Scyther, kind of, from Pokemon. But obviously they're robots. Why has it not been explained yet why there are robots that want to kill us everywhere? Not everywhere, but enough places to make it. Why am I running? I was like, why? This is slow. Why is it slow? And that's because I'm an idiot. It's cool. It happens. Sometimes you're an idiot. Other times you're also an idiot. Occasionally you're not as much of an idiot, but still pretty idiotic. So yeah, it's just kind of like tiles that are the color-ish of grass, but kind of like blue, like a blue tint to the grass. Oh wait, trees. Where'd the trees go? I want to inspect a tree closer. Why didn't I see? Oh, there's water. Oh, you can splash around. Yay. Oh, so the trees, are these what I was seeing? Yeah, they're just... Yeah, there's no nature here at all. It's all metallic, but then again, everything else really has been so far also, so... Anyway... There are some cool water stuff. There's a big old watery sphere thing going on here with like waterfall and some magic jar kind of enemies in here called cleaners. It's like... It's like anything living. I don't know. But yeah, there's a watery sphere, and the water drips down into like a few waterfalls on each side of a triangle, basically. Here's Growingway. So, what did you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I couldn't see the forest or the trees. Or, I didn't see any. Wait, you don't mean those crystals out there are? Or, 'tis as transcendent as burying your face in a Jacobo's plumage and taking a good long whiff. I couldn't see the forest or the trees. You're pulling my tail. You're in the forest right now. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as that you'd find in a forest on Aetheris. I think there's just little bits and pieces of English that are missing here, but whatever. The fountain here behind us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. It is quite spherical. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. I will in fact do the stretch thing. One of the things that I had an ex-girlfriend that played a little bit with this, and that was one of her least favorite things about the game. Like, the game forces you to like click your target /stretch or find the emote in the library of emotes that you can click on, but it's stupid, honestly. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from Aetheris. Could we maybe? Yeah, but they're enemies. You will? Oh, be still, my quivering whiskers. Growingway is now accompanying you, blah blah. Yeah. Okay, where are we going? And can you match my mounted speed? Oh, you don't. Oh, okay, we're fine. He disappears when I'm mounted. Okay, we'll walk together. Should we walk? That's the wrong button. It's such a nice path. Nice day. I was thinking, Mercy, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidelin gave us our first task, furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done, 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. We're going to go through a leisurely jog instead. Past a one-armed scyther robot. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. Who would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dare rush, either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was that brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt, when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Aetheris. The Allagan's Mischief, I think. We thought that maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiac. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidelin informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Is that the sound I just heard was humming? Wow. Is this an optional spot? Ask if you can taste the rainbow crystal. What? No, I'm not sure what it is. Sorry, what it is you do with crystals on Aetheris, but we don't eat them, and certainly not this one. It's possessed of all 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, though, that because of Heidelin's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis and all, manipulating the elements here is different than it might be on Aetheris. Like conjuring a fire would sooner dry your clothes than singe them, for example. Put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiark in check. Okay. And our next mandatory spot. I think they're all mandatory. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact they're massive crystals and not trees? I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to our sun, and do better, and do so better even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed, this forest truly is the greatest. I'll give you slightly different curvature. Hey-oh. What? I don't know. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion system and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Aetheris. Why not go and visit Aetheris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Aetheris we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. Continuing to walk along the metal pathways. Here we go, another one. Sorry, cutscene. And some water after all that. But he's not going to talk. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited, hopeful Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and though her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you would like Greatest Endsvale. I knew it. Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. Ystchola and Thancred have joined. There you are. I take it you've already received the Grand Tour. A shame we missed it. Growingway, I've been looking all over for you. There's Urian J and... what's her name? The leader? Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you'd need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you are all more than welcome to continue looking about the burrow. Now come along, Growingway. Ish, give me a second here. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? I explained everything, which was a lot. They spent 12,000 years preparing for this. With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Early on Jay's turn. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There's another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. He shakes his head. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you will excuse me. And he walks away. We know. Oh yes, we know. To finish the quest, we talk to Y'shtola. 'Tis clear now that the difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Aetheris is indeed crucial, but I'm not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust that I'm not alone in my reticence. All's Vale that Endsvale is complete. This quest is, the video is complete. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye.